Everybody likes lots of good barbecue sides. And Joe, as a matter of fact, sometimes those are the best things at a barbecue. We, of course, make lots of awesome meat products and good main course dishes. Ribs, chicken, brisket. We love brisket. I love good coleslaw. Welcome to summer, guys. We're excited to be here again. It's been a hot minute since we've been around. It's that time of year where we're hosting backyard parties, we're going to the lake, spending some time in the woods. Today we're spending a little bit of time around our chuckwagon. We've got our summer chuckwagon attire on today, staying a little cool, Joe. Got these new hats. You haven't even seen those yet, have you, Joe?
I don't think so.
No, these are nice trucker hats. But yeah, we decided what we're going to do today. We haven't showcased very many barbecue sides. So today, for your pleasure, we are going to make a couple different versions of coleslaw. The first being our Southwest coleslaw, which is our famous coleslaw that we created and made in the Dutch Oven Smokehouse barbecue restaurant. We're going to get started with that. It's a pretty fast and simple recipe. I like to keep everything fresh. Cabbage, I like to use a whole head. My preference is to do a coarse chop. I don't like to drink my coleslaw through a straw. I like to eat it with a fork. So I'm going to show you my methods today. Some folks don't like heavy mayo coleslaw. We've got a couple versions today. First one is our Southwest slaw, which we use some mayo in. The second one, which is going to be a bit of an experiment, but we're going to go off of a recipe that we found is quote-unquote the best Texas vinegar coleslaw. We're going to make some slight adjustments to that. And we're going to see how that goes. Ingredients for our coleslaw today: green cabbage, tomatillos, red onions, fresh jalapenos, cilantro, and limes. Those are the main ingredients for our coleslaw. We'll prep those. Oftentimes I will prep those up to 24 hours ahead of time. I'll put all those ingredients together. They actually keep very well for as much as a week in the fridge. What that does is allows the lime juice to infiltrate the cabbage, sets it over the top. To keep your cabbage and your coleslaw crunchy, I'll make up the dressing, pop it in the fridge, let that come together and marinate separately from the coleslaw mix, from the cabbage mix. As serving time comes, when you're ready to set things out on your table in the backyard or wherever you're at, you can combine those. Everything's just top notch that way. Dressing ingredients: we're going to use mayo, sugar, apple cider vinegar, a little bit of apple juice, and salt and pepper. It's a pretty simple recipe. Fresh cabbage. We're going to cut that down into fourths today. I need about 1 pound of cabbage. First of all, I'm going to show you how I cut the core out of a cabbage. Core's on the bottom, that's the flat side. Straight through. I take my sharp knife, just pick that core out just like that. Pretty fast and simple. I'm only going to need about half of this today. So once it's in that position, I'm going to chop this. I like to use a coarse chop. Tomatillos are sometimes a bit hard to find in our neck of the woods. If you haven't used tomatillos before, you want to look for a fresh green color, firm. These things are going to be a little bit sticky. They're kind of like a tomato. I'm not for sure, Joe. I think they're in the tomato family. But we're going to peel the husk off. They have a nice fresh flavor to them. Some of these tomatillos will have some scars. We'll cut those out. Wipe those off or wash those off under running water. Take the tip of your knife here. Put your thumb right towards the bottom of it. Pop that out. We can slice this one. Like so. More than one way to cut an apple, right, Joe? Is it something like that? I don't know what it is. It's got a little sour in it, a little fleshy like tomato. It's kind of like a green tomato. Use more or less of these. I'm going to use all these today. You could probably get by with 2 or 3 if you like. Next ingredient is an onion. I like to use a red onion. One, it gives a little bit more, I think it's got a little more bite to it, and it also adds a little bit of color to it. Do you wash your onions?
No. It's got a wrapper on it.
Do you wash your onions after you cut the skin off, is a question. That will help keep your eyes from watering. Did you know that?
I hadn't heard that ever.
Now you know. More dad tips. I'm going to use 1/4 to 1/2. Kind of depends on the mood I'm in. How potent this onion is. That kind of thing. If there's anything I cut up or dice up small, it's usually the onions. That way I don't get a big old bite of onion. Actually, I'm not opposed to that, but some of my clients are. My clients being my kids. So about 1/3 of an onion. Got 2 more ingredients for our cabbage mix. 3 more ingredients actually. Next one is fresh jalapenos. You can de-seed these or not de-seed them. Today I'm going to choose not to de-seed these. We're going to stay on the spicy side of life. Also, food safety tip for the summer. If you are cooking for a crowd or cooking for your neighbors in your backyard, make sure you wash all of your vegetables, which we've done here. Wash your hands, and if you got food gloves and you're making salad, it's even better to prep everything with gloves, as this won't be cooked. I'm going to put jalapenos in, seeds and all today. I like things a little bit spicier. Alright, down to 2 ingredients for our cabbage mix. We've got some fresh cilantro. Look for good green leaves, no wilty business. We're not going to use all that, so I'm just going to trim off the top. Alright, last ingredient, lime juice. We've got 2 fresh limes. We're going to use all of these. Little trick here, roll out that lime before you cut it. That will help release some of those juices inside that lime, making it easier to do the work. It's good for wrist rehab as well, Joe. Now this cabbage mix, like I mentioned before, you can make up to a week ahead of time if you'd like, and keep that in the fridge, let it marinate, let that lime juice infuse the cabbage. Just kind of sets it over the top. Looks more professional if I stir it with spoons, doesn't it?
Yes. And we are nothing if not professional.
We're professional. Cover this in a tight dish or throw it in a Ziploc bag. That'll help preserve it. Squeeze all the air out of it, zip it up. There we are. We're off and running. That's your base mix for your slaw. Southwest slaw.
Been pretty good already.
Yeah. I've got a cup of mayo already measured out. I'm just going to put it right in there, Joe. 4 tablespoons of sugar. I like my slaw a little sweet, not overly sweet. Apple cider vinegar, 4 tablespoons. This is apple juice, not apple cider vinegar, Joe.
Just thinking about that.
It calls for the same amount. So apple juice and my apple cider vinegar. I have a giant jug of this. All right, I've got that blended up. That's our dressing mix. It's got just the right amount of sweetness to it. Last 2 ingredients, we're going to add just a little bit of kosher salt and a little pepper. I'm just going to sprinkle that right over this. I like a coarse ground pepper, it just looks good. Coarse ground salt. Both of these can be made up to 7 days ahead of time. Store them separately. Again, if you mix it, it's in your fridge, you could probably keep that for a couple, 3 days, but it is going to lose some of that crunchiness. Gets a little soggy in there. So to keep everything fresh and crunchy, keep it separate. When you're ready to blend that, everybody and each to their own. Everybody likes things a little bit different. I like to have a little bit of light dressing. Dressing goes a long ways, so I made about a cup and a half of dressing, and we've got probably a 12 serving size here, so a cup of dressing to 12 folks. What's that, about a tablespoon and a half per person? That's about right. So looks pretty good, doesn't it? I gotta come up with my cowboy names. Southwest coleslaw, it's not too spicy, not too sweet. The perfect combination to go right alongside your best barbecue meat. The stuff here will work with ribs, with your brisket, chicken. Goes great with a burger. Look for a recipe, outbackcooking.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, or like and subscribe. What is it? Like and subscribe. I don't know what it is, but like and subscribe us, guys. That way you see our fresh feeds. We got some good stuff coming up. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you next time in the Outback.